So you've planned out some goals for the year to come, but are you really ready for those big moments this calendar year? Stick around and I'll give you some tips on how to be prepared and ready to seize the moment. Hey, hello, and welcome to the Something New Show. I'm your host, Jordan Linscombe. Today, we're going to jump into the topic of being ready for your big moments this year. And I want to start off by saying, did you see Carrie Underwood at the presidential inauguration ceremony? I was really blown away yesterday. If you saw it, it turned it kind of into an awkward moment where she was going to sing, the track was going to play, or the band was going to play, and then all of a sudden, things stopped. And I just want you to think about that moment. Like, how many of us would have the courage to step up and you've got former presidents, the incoming president and family, and vice presidents around you, key leaders from the country, and then millions watching on TV. There's the awkward pause, and we're thinking, like, what's going to happen? Where's this going to go? What's going on? And then I love it if you've seen the footage. She just looks at the band director or the sound technician, is like, I'm just going to sing it. And then she goes for it, sings a cappella, encourages everybody to jump in and sing along, kind of, breaks the ice in the moment, and then just nails it. And incredible example of being prepared, incredible example of courage, incredible example of poise and composure. And I was just so moved by that during the inauguration ceremony. I'm just recording this the day after that happened. And it just really reminded me of, like, how do we be prepared for those big life moments that we have? And so it's January, the time I'm recording this. We've talked a lot in recent episodes about how do you prepare for things for your family and have a vision and be ready for some key things that you want to see happen. But I want to go a little bit deeper into that concept because I love this saying. We didn't make it up, but it's, preparation meets opportunity. So whether it's baseball, sports, theater, academics, any kind of performance, any kind of thing in your job or your business, you have to really think through how can I be prepared so when that opportunity comes, preparation meets opportunity. And so, we've set a couple of different goals this year in our household and our family and our businesses. You probably have as well, too, regardless of where you're at in your career journey or your family journey. But I want you to be thinking about what's the preparation you really need to pull off some of those goals and to execute on them this year. And for us, a lot of it comes down to prioritizing time and actually putting it on our calendar. We have some new things that we want to see happen. And we are literally booking some time for Mindy and some of our team to be off-site and to be away, to be in a place where they can clear their head and work in that atmosphere, to write out some new curriculum, to prepare some new content and other things for our advisory firm and our coaching business and other things we do to help bridal shop owners across the world. It takes intentionality and putting it on the calendar to really help. So be thinking about, having goals is great, but are you really making time? Are you setting an hour this week, maybe an hour the next week? It doesn't mean you have to dedicate an entire day all the time, but what are the small micro habits that you can put into your calendar here at the start of the year or implement those across the spread of the year that will add up to a lot of impact and a lot of change for you to really achieve that goal? I think a lot of us would think, hey, that'd be great if I could just have a 4-day retreat and really get away and read these books or do this or concentrate on this for 4 days. Man, that would just really make a big difference. What's wild is if you schedule something 15 minutes a day for this year, you are basically scheduling a 4-day retreat for yourself with whatever you're focusing on. So think about it. If you schedule 15 minutes of reading per day, you're planning 4 days of reading for this calendar year. But if you want to just fall into it and do 15 minutes of social media scrolling per day, or whatever that number may be, if you look at your phone, whether you're planning on it or not, you're falling into a habit. And so I just want to encourage you, what is something you do for a quarter hour per day for the rest of this year, for the 365 days to come? And if you look at it, you would have an around-the-clock 4-day retreat with whatever you're focusing on and concentrating on. So again, the big idea is if you care about it, if you want to reach a goal, make it show up by putting it in your calendar and actually doing it and following through on that. And there's some other things that you might be aiming at or planning on, but you're thinking, what resources do I need? If you don't really know how to accomplish that goal, who are the people you need to be talking to? What are the books you need to be ordering and actually reading or listening to? What's the conversation or the conference or the atmosphere in which you need to get to learn more and to achieve more to be able to accomplish that goal? Mindy and I are fresh off of going to a mastermind for entrepreneurs We've invested in this big time over the last couple of years because the beautiful thing is when we get into conversations with other experts, things that are very natural to them may not be as easy for us. I'll give you one example. We were trying to figure out a financial figure, and we're talking with an incredible guy named Brett. We're talking about ideas of marketing and just helping him with things that he maybe can't see exactly from his perspective yet. And Mindy's just pouring out ideas and it's flowing. And he's like, this is like gold. It's amazing. Well, that's her lane that she lives in all the time. And then we were talking with Brett and he said, hey, you guys want to figure out, this financial figure for the future? He's like, give me 30 seconds. I'll do it right now. And boom. And in a moment, he answered a question that we just haven't been able to solve or take the time to think about. And he did it so naturally because he's done it for days and days and years of his life for the last couple decades. So it's the same thing. We looked at Carrie Underwood example. Of course, she has over 10,000 hours, tens of thousands of hours performing, singing, stepping up to the plate in the moment. Brett has that when it comes to finance. Mindy has that when it comes to team leadership, to marketing, to helping other people. And so when you find those folks that you can get around other resources or other qualified people, you can have breakthroughs this year and advance things a lot faster. So it takes some investment. You have to get around those people, get in the right room, get in the right atmosphere. But we just love that because it helps us accelerate towards some of our goals for this year and some of our goals in life by being around the other kind of people that can speak into that with their area of expertise, their area of hundreds of thousands of hours they may have put into something.
This episode is sponsored by Something Blue 30A. Looking for the perfect vacation spot to disconnect from everything, put your feet in the softest sand, and enjoy a fresh, renovated 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhouse right on the beach in my favorite place in the world? Well, 30A is situated in the panhandle of Florida, and I'd love for you to check out Something Blue 30A on Instagram and make it the perfect place for your next vacation.
All right, and so I just want to share a couple of quick things in today's episode. A couple of my goals for this year being a better dad. I'm really proud of what we've developed as a family. It is not perfect, and we are working every week and every day to continue to improve how we relate well, encourage, and build up a safe and encouraging and also growth-minded atmosphere in our home. All right, and so a couple of things I'm doing is ordering new books. I've screened a couple of these titles with a couple other folks like, you've got to read this. Your son's turning 15. You want to be ready for that moment because we've already had some great conversations as they turn 10 and 13 and key things about life. But really in our household, we look at it as a series of conversations, not just a talk about life and what's to come. And we look at it, how do we have hundreds of small talks with our children and our teens over the years to come? So I'm looking at 2025 saying, based on the ages of my sons and my daughter, how do I learn more to be a better dad, to be a better coach to them in the seasons of life as they get older, right? There's different phases of parenting for different ages. And this is new territory for us. The beautiful thing is there's lots of people who've gone before, and there's lots of people who have great insights that we can learn from. So I just want to let you know, that's one example I'm doing. I'm ordering new books. I'm ordering new resources to say, how can I continue to prepare for some key moments, some key conversations, some key moments of encouragement and guidance as my oldest turns 15 next month, as we've got one about to become a teenager. So that's just one practical example. Another thing we're looking at is, for me, it's business. Mindy focuses on sales and marketing. I'm more in operations and finance. There's some refinement I want to make. We're over 17 years in with one of our businesses, with the bridal shop behind us here. With that, I want to continue to refine, how do we make things better? How do we make it more automated? How do we make the systems even better? How do we prepare for things 5 years out from now? And so I'm hitting new areas and new levels where I've got to find other people and ask questions that I haven't asked before. I've got to also, Tony Robbins talks about this idea of it's not like you need to learn so much more, but it's about, you know what to do. We'll just take the time to do what you know. And that's something that's convicted me lately is, how do we take all the wonderful things we've captured over the last 2 or 3 years and map that out into this year and to start putting some of that into action and doing the grind and doing the hard work to improve some systems and operations even better than they are now. So that's an aspect for business. But I want to come back to family as we wrap up today, because a lot of you, as you're looking at the year ahead, it's still early in the calendar year at the time of recording this, you may be surprised or caught off guard by a bunch of key moments that might hit at the same time. And years ago, I was on a flight with a key leader, and we're flying down to Ecuador. And he said, you know what, Jordan, I really didn't plan ahead for some key aspects of life, like our 25th anniversary and my child graduating from high school and another key birthday for our family or a key vacation that we wanted to do. And so we talked through this practical idea, and I've created a tool that I want to share with you on how to fix this and how to be more prepared and be ready for your moment. It's a really simple tool. We want to encourage you to go to the somethingnewshow.com. You'll be able to find this there. It's really easy to fill out and customize for your life and for your family. But on that, just think about it. You'll be able to plan out what are the really key, if you're married, key dates for anniversaries for you and your spouse. If you're parents, what are key birthdays for you, your spouse, and your kids? And how do you line those up looking at years to come? Where are key graduation moments for school or college or other things with your kids? And then also, what are the family vacations and things that we want to do? How do we really make a plan for those and execute on it versus just hoping and dreaming and then maybe one day it'll happen? The cool thing is you can actually map that out to the best of your ability and start to plan and start to dream. And so we've got a great tool for you to plan ahead for your key family moments. Check that out on the somethingnewshow.com, and I'd be happy to share that with you so you can be even more proactive as a dad or a mom or as a key leader in your family. This can also apply, for business anniversaries or key events as well for years to come. But it's kind of a macro view, at a high level view of how do you be preparing not only for this year, but think 5, 10, even 15, 20 years out for some moments in life ahead. So again, this whole idea of preparation meets opportunity. When we see the superstars or we see the people, just doing incredible stuff, hitting the Grand Slam in the World Series. Dodgers game this year, that was just historical, unbelievable. I'm not a Dodgers fan, but it was an amazing moment in sports to see Grand Slam in the World Series. That doesn't just happen, right? Okay, Carrie Underwood singing at the inauguration. That doesn't just happen. These are people who've put in the preparation, the time to develop their skills, to develop their passion. So when we come back to your year, when we come back to your moment right now, you may have some goals, or maybe you need to map those out even more specifically. But how do you put in the time to prepare more? So let's put things on our calendar. Let's find resources and things to help us with what we don't know yet. Let's get around other people who can help us learn more quickly and help us accelerate some of the things that we want to see accomplished, right? And then also, let's just get after it and use some planning tools and use some things to be proactive so we don't miss the moment, whether it's in business or family. Hey, again, I'm Jordan with the Something New Show. We really believe that life's worth celebrating, and we want to help you create a life worth celebrating. So cheers to you and your family and others as we move into this year and get more specific about nailing some of our goals. All the best. We'll see you next time here on the Something New Show.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the show, rate, review, and share with a friend. Also, follow The Something New Show on Instagram and Facebook. If you want a fuller experience, watch the show on YouTube to help you create a life worth celebrating.